A to Z Sports Debate with your host, Adam Nancy. For today's topic, we're relating it back to NFL football. I will not be doing the NBA topic this time until after the NBA Finals is over. But for today's topic, I thought I would take an approach back in NFL history dating back to the 90s and early 2000s. With my next ML topic, I will be discussing NFL positions, particularly one. I was thinking about this the other day, and I thought, was there ever a white cornerback in the NFL? Now, not quarterback, cornerback, which is other things called defensive back, which is a defender who plays the offense's top receiver and knocks down the passes when passes are thrown to that receiver or intercepts the football. But I wanted to look up the other day, which was the last white NFL cornerback in the league. What I found was interesting. This came from my favorite team, the New York Giants, that Jason Sehorn was the last white quarterback to play in the NFL. He played with them since 1994 to 2002. During his career, he had 19 interceptions and 4 touchdowns. The reason I was very into that today, and I want to explain to you, is because when we talk about equality, and when there was a time where certain black athletes couldn't play a white man's quarterback position, or vice versa, that it was a struggle back then, you know? And I thought it would be interesting to see that one lasting white player that hasn't played in a while, to see how much that's diminished, and that black people and other ethnicities have had opportunities. This is not to offend anybody. I just think it's fascinating to see that since 2002, there has not been a white player playing that position. Although in today's league, you have men like Darrelle Revis, Richard Sherman, Patrick Petersen, DRC, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. They play fantastic in that position, you know? I just thought that was interesting, and it's something that really gravitated my interest in it. During that time, he was one of the only real few that made impact plays and really helped the New York Giants out in the 90s when they were okay. But I also wanted to bring up other suggestions that, for instance, I liked back in the 80s and 70s when certain players weren't able to play quarterback, because in the 70s it was many white-dominated quarterbacks, but in the 80s, black iconic figures like Doug Williams, Warren Moon, really evolved the quarterback position, where they not only won Super Bowls, or Doug Williams did, but they showed that, hey, we can win Super Bowls. One interesting fact that I like in the last 4 Super Bowls, 4 African American quarterbacks have started. Quarterback Colin Kaepernick, quarterback Russell Wilson, and recently quarterback Cam Newton. You know, so it shows that any man that has the ability to play any position, they can do. I think that's pretty cool. You know, I just really like equality. I think it's pretty cool and amazing. I also wanted to bring up that one thing I wanted to bring up about Jason Sehorn's intercept play was that he had one of the most iconic pick sixes of all time, and he was just a very good player. And yeah, he was also probably regarded as one of the best left of the white man playing that position. I don't know what he's doing currently, but that really gravitated towards me. I would definitely love to see other ethnicities get an opportunity to play that position. But it just whatever interests me, and one day one certain position would stop being dominated by one person. But once again, I just thought it was interesting. I especially like that it was from the New York Giants. I didn't know they had that. And now I found it fascinating. This is not racially charged. I just thought it would be something cool to share some NFL historical facts. And let me know what you think. And hope you enjoy your day. Bye.